Hello, dear students. Welcome back to the session on differential band break. So, in the previous session, we have discussed about the differential band break and the design concept or the design procedure of the differential band break. So, in that, we have come across around 6 to 7 steps. Say there, the very first step was to determine the torque, and then we have to calculate the tangential load ft. After that we have to go for the calculation of band tensions or the forces exerted on the band on the tight side as well as slack side, that is f1 and f2 calculations, that is in the third step. Fourth step, that is to calculate the actuating force based upon the arrangement or the sketch that is given for the differential band break, and the direction of rotation of the drum. And then in the fifth step, we have to calculate the band thickness and width, which is comes under the heading of design of band. And then next step, that is the sixth step, is to carry out the design of a brake lever which is having a rectangular cross section. So material, if it is given, that is well and good. Otherwise we have to assume, or we have to select a C30 or C40 steel for the band material, rectangular cross sectional brake lever material. Then uh, i- design of fulcrum pin, that is also to be carried out to calculate the diameter of the pin if it is required. Now let us take one example or a problem which is asked in one of the previous question papers. Let us see how to solve the problem. So it is not compulsory that always we have to carry out all 7 steps. There are something that we have to carry out which are asked in the question statement. So in this particular previous question paper, VTO question paper problem, so the things which are given that we have to note down first. Say differential band break which is shown in figure. So the figure of the differential band break is given. The width and thickness of the steel band are 100 mm and 3 mm respectively. So B, that is the width of the band, and the thickness of the band is 3 mm H. H value is 3 mm. And along with that, the stress, permissible tensile stress in the band is limited to 50 Newton per mm square. That is nothing but sigma D. This value is given here, 50 Newton per mm square. Then the coefficient of friction, that is mu, is given as 0.25. Mu is equal to 0.25. So here in the calculation part, we have to calculate the tensions in the band, that is F1 and F2 calculation. And then we have to carry out the calculation of actuating force required at the end of the lever. And also we have to calculate the torque capacity of the brake. And we have to check that whether the brake is self locking. So that is also the another condition or another statement that is asked here in the problem statement. Now let us proceed with the solution part. So initially we have to list out the given information and also some of the parameters that we have to note from the figure. See here the value of theta, that is angle of wrap or angle of contact. That is what the angle embraced by or angle subtended by this arc where the belt just leaves the pulley. So this is 240 degrees. So theta value, that is 240 degrees, that is noted, and that we have to convert into radians by multiplying pi by 180. That is what the multiplication factor to convert a degree into radians. And also there is a diameter of the pulley that is indicated here, so which is denoted by means of capital D or small d. So the value of diameter of the pulley or the brake drum is 600 mm. So that the radius value that becomes half of that, that is 300 mm. And next, the values of ends of the bands from, or the distances of ends of the bands from the fulcrum point, that is also given. So from this fulcrum point or from this fulcrum pin, the distance between this point, say usually this is written as A and this is O and this is B and this point as C. So distance between these 2 points is to be written as or given as 50 mm. So this is what as per our notation, this is B2. So B2 is equals to 50 mm. And B1 is also given here as 200 mm in the sketch. So B1 value is 200 mm. And the distance between the line of action of force F and the fulcrum pin, that is not given directly here, but the distance which is given up to this end connection of the band, that is 750 mm. But actually what we want the distance from line of action of F to the fulcrum pin. So this distance is 750 mm plus 200 mm. So this value is 950 mm. So 950 mm is the value of A. A is the distance between line of action of force F, that is actuating force, and the fulcrum pin. So this is what the thing that are given here. So but since the value of torque is also to be calculated here, so instead of that something is given other than that, say the value of width, thickness as well as width of the band thickness as well as band width. Say band width is 300 mm and thickness is 3 mm, and as well as sigma d value that is also given here. So with the help of these three values we have to proceed now, right? So to calculate the wanted things, say so for example with respect to the known value of torque or power, then we can proceed with the actual procedure what we have discussed in the last class. Now, with respect to the direction of rotation, that is also given here. That is clockwise rotation. So, drum rotates in clockwise direction. Hence, the side which is called as a pulling side is having the large tension. That is what tight side tension is F1. And this one is represented here as the tension in the slack side F2. And also, we have to check for the self-locking condition. Now, by taking in consideration into account these given values, so let us proceed with the uh, design. So, if the torque value or the power value is known, means then we can proceed with the rest of the calculations according to the general procedure. But here, the first step itself is asked here to calculate the F1 and F2. F1 and F2, tight side tension and slack side tension. So the band dimensions are given. So with the help of the dimensions of the band which are given, we can make use of or we can directly go to the step number 5, where the design of band is to be carried out. So directly you consider step 5, because here we can use this step 5 directly to calculate the F1 and F2. So band design step is to be taken into account since the dimensions of the band they are given. So here width of band equation, that we know width of band equation is there in the data handbook, equation number 13.180, page number 269, page number 269. So that is what B is equal to, or W is equal to F1 divided by H into sigma D. So by using this equation here, the value of B is known, H is also known, as well as sigma D is also known. So only the F1 value that is unknown. So we can calculate the F1 as it is calculated here, 15,000 newtons. So B is 100, H is 3 mm, and sigma D is 50. So the value becomes 15,000 newtons. So that F1 value is 15,000 newton. So once you get the value of F1, next we have to go for the driving tension ratio, or say band tension ratio, F1 by F2, that is equal to E raised to mu theta. So in this case, belt is the pulley or the drum is having the flat surface, hence no question of replacing mu. As if it is V grooved means, then we have to replace that mu by sin alpha. Now directly we have to write mu is 0.25, and this is theta 240 degrees multiplied by pi by 180 to convert it into radians. So the answer what we get is 2.85. 2.85. So this is what the ratio of F1 to F2, that is band tension ratio. F1 by F2 is equal to 2.85. Since we know the value of F1 here, only the F2 parameter that is required for us. So that 15,000 divided by e raised to mu theta, that is 2.85. That gives the value of 5263 newtons. So F2 is equal to 53, 5263 newtons. So these are the two important values which are required. Now with the help of this F1 and F2 also we can calculate the Ft, as Ft is F1 minus F2. So that also we can calculate, and after that ft we can calculate the torque. But the things which are asked here, f1 and f2, that are the first parameters that are asked. And after that we have to calculate the actuating force, that is as per the question statement. Now, to calculate the actuating force, so no need to refer the data handbook again and again, but by using the concept of equilibrium, where the summation of moments is taken about a fulcrum point and equating it to zero. So if I take moment about the fulcrum point O and taking that summation or equating that summation of moments to zero. So here this is giving the moment in clockwise direction. So I will take this itself as the first parameter, f into a, f into perpendicular distance. Then f2 is giving the moment in this direction, that is f2 multiplied by the distance of the perpendicular distance, that is b2. So minus f2 b2, minus f2 b2. Again, f1 gives the moment in anti-clockwise direction itself about this fulcrum point. So this will be written with the plus sign, plus f1 into b1. Sorry, f1 into b2, and this one is f1 into f2 into b1. So this distance is b1. So here in another one more important term, what we have discussed in the discussion, say b2 is less than b1 and b2 is greater than b1. Now b2 is less than b1, hence f is acting in the downward direction. So this is what the condition we have discussed, as it is given already. No need to worry about that particular condition. But even though we can check it, b2 is less than b1, hence f is acting in the downward direction. So f is equal to what is the resulting equation that are getting now. So f is equal to f2 b1 minus f1 b2. So f2 b1 it is minus f1 b2 divided by a. So this is what the equation that we are getting. So in the same manner, the equation which is derived here, that is fa minus f2b1 plus f1b2, that is equal to 0. So therefore f is equal to f2b1 minus f1b2 divided by a. So this is what the equation that we have derived. So by using this condition, by using this equation, we can calculate the value of f. So to calculate the value of f, substitute all the values of f1, f2 as well as b1 and b2, so that you will be getting the value of f here. So what is f2? F2 value is uh, F2 value is 5263 newtons. 5263 newtons. So F2 is 5263 newtons, and here itself it is substituted. F into A is 950, and F2 is 5263 into 200, it is B1, plus 15,000 is F1 value, and 50 is the B2 value. So that the value of F that is obtained here is 318.5 newtons. That is what for clockwise rotation. Only it is asked for the clockwise rotation, and this is the sufficient, that 318.5 newtons. Next. So in the next step, we have to check the whether the given brake is self-locking or not. For self-locking, what is the condition? That condition we know, F is less than or equal to 0. So we have to equate, or we have to write a condition for this equation as less than or equal to 0. Therefore, F2b1 minus F1b2, that is less than or equal to 0. And again F1 F2b1 and minus f1 b2, that is taken to the other side, so that less than or equal to f1 b2, and b1 by b2 is less than or equal to f1 by f2. So what is f1 by f2? F1 by f2 is driving tension ratio, that is derived or calculated as 2.85. b1 value is 200 and b2 value is 50. So that the answer what we get here is the ratio b1 by b2 is 4. Whether 4 is less than 2.85? No. So 4 is not less than 2.85. Therefore, the condition that is not satisfied here. Therefore, what we can say, the brake is not a self-locking one, or it is not a self-locking brake. So this we have proved. So this is one problem. And if I take another problem according to which is to be solved according to the procedure, say this is also asked in one of the previous question papers. Say here also the sketch is given for the differential band break as the sketch is given. So with respect to this sketch, the drum diameter is having 500 mm, and drum rotates at 300 rpm, that is counterclockwise rotation, and absorbs 36 kilowatt of power, and mu is 0.25. Mu is 0.25. And here we have to go for the determination of actuating force F, then width of band required for this break, and thickness is 5 mm. H value is given, B value is to be determined, and also the allowable tensile stress in the band material is 72 Newton per mm square. So 72 Newton per mm square is given, that is sigma D. Sigma D is given as 72 Newton per mm square. Next, design the lever if the maximum force is twice the calculated force, and use C30 steel for the lever material, and you take factor of safety as 4, and uh, based upon the ultimate stress, it is based on ultimate stress. If it is not given, then you can take the yield stress directly, and a resultant fulcrum pin reaction and a pin diameter. So this is what the things that we have to calculate. So with this information, say here the dimensions which are given in the sketch, that also we have to note in the meantime. So theta is 240 degrees, again it is given, and B2 is 50 mm and B1 is 100 mm. So B2 is less than, here also B2 value is less than B1 value, hence the value of, or the direction line of action of F that acts in the downward direction when the lever is placed in the downside. And B2 is 50 mm, B1 is 100, and A is 1100 mm. That is the distance between line of action of F and fulcrum point. And the drum is rotating in clockwise direction, hence this becomes the tight side, and force is F1, and this will be the slack side, and F2 will be the slack side force. And with this information we have to proceed with the calculation part. Now we have to list out the given information which are listed here. Say capital D R, N is 300 mm, 300 rpm, counterclockwise rotation. Theta is 240 degrees. Power absorbed is 36 kilowatt. Mu is 0.25. Calculate F question mark. B width of the band is question mark, that is H is given, and sigma D 72 Newton per mm square. And also we have to design the lever B1 and H1, and C30 steel is the material. Factor of safety is 4 based upon the ultimate stress, and dP is the diameter of pin, and Fr is the fulcrum pin reaction. So these are the things that we have to carry out. Now, according to the general design procedure itself, we have to proceed. So the very first step is to calculate the torque. So to calculate the torque, the first thing that we should know, the power value is given or not. Yes, it is given. So you can use the fundamental equation of power. P is equal to 2 pi nt divided by 60 into 1000. So this value gives us 1146 Newton meter. And then capital T is equal to 1146 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. So it is converted into millimeters. And then tangential force Ft is to be calculated. Ft is given by torque by radius of the drum. So torque divided by radius of the drum, that gives the value of 4584 newtons. 4584 newtons. That is tangential force Ft. So once you have the value of Ft, the next step is to calculate F1 and F2. That is the third step. So to calculate F1 and F2, we can refer the page number 269 of the data handbook, or even we can refer page number 267 of the data handbook, where equation number 13.18c and D that are also giving the equations of, or given the equations of F1 and F2. So these are the another equations. So the same equations are there, no doubt. Page number 269, that is sufficient, or you can go for page 269. So here the ratio F1 by F2 e raised to mu theta, that is given by 2.85 value. So F1 is Ft into e raised to mu theta divided by e raised to mu theta minus 1. So 7062 Newton. So this is F1 value. and F2 value, again we have to refer the next equation in the page 269 or page 267. So ft into 1 by e raised to mu theta minus 1, that value is 2477.8, that is F2. So F1 and F2, they are calculated. This is the third step. So once you complete the calculation of F1 F2, the next step, fourth step, is to go for the calculation of operating force, that is the actual force. Again you have to take the moment about the fulcrum point and take the summation of moment and equate it to 0. So if we equate it to 0, so the equation which is resulted here is FA minus F1B1 plus F2B2 is equal to 0. Substitute and get the value of F. So substituting the known values, A is known as 1100 mm and F1B1 both are known, F2B2 both are known, only the F1 term is unknown here. So that F equation that is formulated and substituted all the values, so that F is 529.3 newtons. 529.3 newtons. Now design of band, that is the fifth step. So in fifth step, in the previous problem we have started the problem solving problem from this step itself, but here in this step, here according to the procedure, this is the fifth step. So fifth step is to calculate the thickness of the band as well as width of the band. Now uh, width of the thickness of the band is given. So width of band is only the unknown parameter. So substitute all the values. Says F1 is 7062, H is given 5 mm, and sigma D is also given 72 Newton per mm square, and the value what you get is 20 millimeters. And then we have to carry out the design of lever part. So design of brake lever. So here the material is given, that is C30 steel that we have to assume. Now, by using the bending equation, so we know that bending stress is given by sigma is equal to m into c divided by I, or m into maximum bending moment multiplied by y divided by I. So y is what? Again, that is nothing but c itself. That is the distance of centroid. Now, to calculate the maximum bending moment, F max multiplied by B2. So what is this F max? F max is the force acting on the shorter arm. So this is the shorter arm which is having a length of B2, and another one is the larger arm which is having a length of A. So shorter arm is considered as into account. So moment about fulcrum point itself is to be taken, so that here with respect to this problem, F2 is the force that is acting here. So therefore F max into B2, that is the actual equation. So what is F max? Either F1 or F2. Now here it is F2. It is F2. But what is given? Given that the F maximum force is twice the force which is given here, right? Which is to be substituted. So twice of that particular force is the maximum force. So this is what the maximum bending moment that we are getting. So that is 247783 Newton mm. Next, we have to go for the calculation of moment of inertia, which is given by B1 H1 cube divided by 12. What is B1? B1 is the width of the lever, and H1 be the uh, thickness of the lever. So this is H1 and this one is B1. So this is what the rectangular cross section of the lever which is given. So with this calculation, next we have to assume the value of H1 in terms of B1. That is what the standard assumption. H1 is usually thrice of width or twice of width. So here we have assumed thrice of the width. So H1 is replaced by 3B1, so that I is 9 by 4 into B1 raised to 4, and C is 1.5 into B1. So by referring appendix 1, page number 463 of the data handbook, for C30 steel, ultimate stress is having a range of 490 to 588 Newton per mm square. 490 to 588 Newton per mm square. And the factor of safety is given as 4. This is based on ultimate stress, based on the ultimate stress, which is given. So with respect to this itself, you have to assume the sigma u in between these two values. So it is assumed here sigma u as 540 Newton per mm square. Even you can assume 500 also, you can assume 580 also, but intermediate value is to be assumed. So if I assume 540 Newton per mm square, then the bending stress sigma b, or simply sigma, is equal to sigma u by FOS. So that value is 540 divided by 4, that is 135 Newton per mm square. So once you get this value, so we have the bending equation as sigma is equal to m into c divided by I. Sigma is 135, m is 2,47,783 Newton mm, and c is 1.5 b1 divided by I is 9 by 4 b1 raised to 4. So after solving, we will be getting 10.6 mm. So it is rounded off to 12 mm. So this is the value of b1. This is the value of b1. So h1 is what? H1 is thrice the value of b1. So this value is 36 mm, 3 times b1. So 36 mm. So this is the calculation part. So we have to assume, if ultimate stress condition is not given, then you can assume yield stress also by using the same table. So since it is given as ultimate stress case, therefore ultimate stress in between these two values we have to assume. So divided by 4, so that gives the sigma value LHS. And in the RHS, only B1 is unknown. Solve it for B1, get the value of B1 as 12 mm. So this completes the design of lever step. Next comes the resultant force calculation as well as fulcrum pin diameter. So before proceeding with the calculation part, we have to plot the free body diagram of the brake lever. So to draw the free body diagram of brake lever, say this is the fulcrum point as it is shown, and the length of lever is to be represented as A on one side of the fulcrum pin, and this is the distance of B1 here, and this is F1, and this one is F2 perpendicular to this lever itself, and the angle it is 240 degrees given, and so that here it is 60 degree. And if I again simplify, this F2 makes an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal, so that this F2 can be resolved. Say in horizontal direction, it is in horizontal direction, the F2 resolved component of F2 is F2 cos 30, and in vertical direction F2 is resolved, and this component becomes F2 into sin 30, F2 into sin 30, which is written here. And this is what the angle 30 degrees. So by seeing the sketch, we have to manipulate, or we have to simplify, or we have to identify this angle. So this angle is given there as 240 degrees is the angle of wrap, so that the value here is 60 degrees, and this value becomes based upon the, by using the geometry, fundamentals of the geometry, we have to get this value 30 degree. So that here, by using the condition of equilibrium, say summation of vertical forces equated to 0 and summation of horizontal forces equated to 0, and at the pin there are two reactions in vertical and horizontal directions. One is called as Fy, vertical force, and another one is Fx, that is horizontal reaction. And this is what the fulcrum pin, so whose diameter is to be determined. So if I take the first condition, summation of vertical forces equated to 0, so how many vertical forces are here? One vertical force, that is Fy, another one is F, another one is F1, another one is F2 sin 30. So totally 4 components are there. So Fy is downward, positive, minus F1 upward, plus F is also acting downward, so plus F, minus F2 into sin 30 acting upward. So that if you solve this, Fy value is 7771 newtons, and Fx, summation of Fx equal to 0, or horizontal components are equated to 0. So Fx is equal to, how many horizontal components are there? Only 2. One is Fx acting in this direction, another one is F2 cos 30 acting in the opposite direction. So equate these two, F2 cos 30, that is nothing but 2146 newtons. So this is Fx and this is Fy. So if you take the, if you want the reaction, total reaction or the resultant reaction, that is Fr. Fr is given by square root of Fx square plus Fy square. So that resultant value is 8062.2 newtons. Next, we have to calculate the resultant pin reaction also. So that is what calculated here, 8062 newtons. So once you get the resultant pin reaction, the next thing we have to see that what kind of stress is induced in the pin, fulcrum pin. So this is what the common procedure for the fulcrum design. Once you get the FR value, we have to see that for which it is subjected or what kind of stress is induced here. So the pin is subjected to shearing action, and what kind of shear it is? Double shear. So here uh, FR, that is the resultant reaction, is equal to pi by 4 dp square into tau p, and it is multiplied by 2 because it is subjected to double shear. So pi by 4 dp square into tau p. So here assume the same material what we have assumed for the lever as C30 steel, so that tau p is given by half of that bending stress, that is sigma by 2 135 by 2, that is 67.5 Newton per mm square. You can assume different materials also. To save the time, so C30 steel itself is assumed as it is already assumed, and you know the value. So that 67.5 is the tau p. Substitute all the values except dp, so that the dp value what we get is 8.7 mm. So round it off to 10 mm. So this is what the fulcrum pin diameter calculation step. So that is the seventh step. So this is what the two problems what we have solved on the differential band break in the today's session. So in next session, I will take two more problems uh, on the differential band break. I hope you have followed the steps. Thank you.